Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jack from McClunky Cast and Holden,
What's up,
and we're
guys?
just looking at like a tier list. Just kind of like we're gonna rewatch the movie, so we just want to do a quick tier list of how we rank the movies.
Yeah. So yeah, this is all of the Star Wars films that have came out to date.
Today,
And basically we are going to give our
May
thoughts.
17th.
We're going to make a later video because we're actually going to rewatch everything together since we've started the channel. And
Poke a little
so
fun at it because some of them are pretty cheesy.
yeah, but we're going to see what changes. Some of these I've only seen once. Some of these I haven't seen in a long time. Um,
I don't think I've ever
so
seen the holiday special. I see that on the list.
Okay, well, I'll have to do that one, but um,
Well, if you can, because George Lucas has scrubbed it from the internet, bro. If you can rewatch that, but
nah, it's all available. We can watch it. I got you.
okay.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do a tier list, and then we'll compare it once we've watched everything and see how everything either stays the same or is changed. So I think what we will do is I think we should start with the original trilogy. I think we'll start with Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Where do we think A New Hope should go?
You gotta give it credit for starting the whole thing, right? Like it's the first movie. You gotta give it credit. Like, hey, like it did its thing. Like there wouldn't be another Star Wars without it.
Yeah, but that's kind of a given. Like,
I don't think it's wrong to give it points for that, because it's like that's what they built off of, right? It mentioned Clone Wars. They built Clone Wars as a thing after the fact. They set up a whole world. Like they had to do everything from scratch in that movie. But they did a pretty good job.
George did a good job with the first movie, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely
mean,
don't think it's C or D, but I if it wasn't for being the first movie, I would put it in C. I actually don't find the movie amazing, but I would be okay with putting it in B.
I would probably say yeah. I would say like low A, high B.
Okay, so
I don't know. It's hard to. I guess we'll get later on. Maybe we can move it later on, but it's definitely up there for everything that it built and set up.
okay. Next we have Empire Strikes Back. For me, this is S. Empire Strikes Back is almost. I mean, it's not just a good Star Wars movie. It's borderline a perfect like sequel. I definitely think this is an S tier. It's the introduction of Yoda. Everyone's favorite levels in video game from Hoth. It's just got so much. It's the introduction of the Emperor.
There's some cool planets in there too.
Dagobah,
like you said,
Hoth.
Yeah. Tauntaun scene. There's some iconic scenes in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Solo gets put away. I mean, it's just
Force ghosts. That's when those get introduced. You don't see Obi-Wan as a Force ghost. You just hear him. So, bigger aspect of the Force. Bespin, Cloud City. You know, all that's put in there. Lando Calrissian. There's so much. So much that goes on in this movie. For me, this is an S tier Star Wars movie. What would you?
I can't disagree with that. It's honestly, it puts a lot of new characters, a lot of big plot points. It's very important.
It's true.
It's like a very important to building up and kind of putting together Han Solo, Leia. It puts together like Luke's journey a lot. Like it's a lot. It's a big peak, as middle movies usually are.
My favorite part about the movie is that it ends on a bad note, because not only does it's like, oh, it's going to be a trilogy, but it's not a happy ending. Luke finds out Darth Vader's his father. That's not a good thing. Han is frozen in carbonite. They lose Han Solo. Like a ton of stuff.
Most iconic stuff.
Yeah, it's
I am your father. Like one of the most iconic things Star Wars you think of. And then it's like, I don't know. It's just like one of the most iconic scenes back to back to back. They had George Lucas not being the actor, or not being the director, so it's not like it's not George Lucas. So great visionary directing. You can definitely give some credit to some of the things that they did with that. Some cool stuff happened in that movie. So I can't disagree with S tier. It's a big peak.
Yeah.
For the trilogy and just Star Wars in general.
Now so it's normally a tie for a lot of people. It's either their favorite movie from the original trilogy is Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back. We recently
we cheated on
saw
that one,
Return
but
of the
we did
Jedi.
rewatch that.
It's got a lot of my favorite stuff in the movie, and it also has a lot of stuff that misses for me. It's like, oh man, all the stuff with Luke in the Emperor's throne room. That's all good stuff.
I mean, there's some cheesy stuff. Maybe I'll find more cheesy stuff in the original two when we rewatch those. But we just rewatched this one, so we're a little bit cheating on this one. But we rewatched it. It's like Luke chilling. He's just chilling in like the throne room. Like he's not doing a lot in the throne room.
Yeah, but
He's
the
just
chosen
kinda, like,
one can't
really
sense him.
fight. And it's like, it's kind of cool when Vader's like, "Hey, dude, look at your friends are dead." Like, okay, cool. I mean, there's some cool stuff in it, but there's some really cheesy stuff. Like our most elite troopers, and then Ewoks are out here beating them up.
Ewoks kill it for me.
Okay.
And then, like, the Emperor reiterates a million times. Best troops, finest troops, legion of them waiting. And they get beat by the teddy bears. It's
not mentioned that.
Right.
Make the Ewoks bigger in numbers, but kind of like droids are, like bigger in numbers, but like weaker, and just like slaughter them.
The thing that would have made that movie perfect for me is if that was Kashyyyk. If those were Wookiees and not Ewoks, that would have been
nice.
Would have been awesome. That would have been
awesome.
awesome.
And the prowess, or you could do maybe another species, kind of like Trandoshans. This is all very new Star Wars, though. It's like the third movie they made.
It's true.
It's like a lot of the stuff's not fleshed out. Like other than maybe like I don't know what else they did, like a book or something like that they may have made between the movies, or there's very little that they've figured out by this point.
But this, I don't think, is better than Empire Strikes Back, but it is definitely better than A New Hope.
A tier.
You want to put it in A?
If you want to. We can put it in. We can move it up later if we think that maybe some of the tiers are filling up. But let's put it in A tier for now, as like in the middle between those two.
Sure.
We can move it later if the sections fill up too much, and we think because S tier we're not gonna leave it empty, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go in order of release. So, well, I guess we should. You haven't seen the holiday special, have you?
No, I haven't seen it. So you just rank it how you think. I mean, we all know it's
we
all
awful.
know what people say about it. S tier. All right, we'll leave it at that, and we'll move on.
So I think we'll skip on the ones we both haven't watched. So you haven't seen the Ewok movies either, have you?
Is that on this
Caravan,
list?
yeah, Caravan of Courage, and I can't think what the second one's called. It's really small.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen like some of the more obscure older stuff because sometimes it's hard to get your hands on those. So
it's just those three.
Two
Ewok
movies. A lot more. They're
Yeah.
putting a lot of the older stuff on Disney Plus now, so I'll have to go back and rewatch those now that those are more easily accessible.
So I think we'll skip on the 2 Ewok movies in the holiday special until you've seen them.
2 Ewok movies?
There is.
Man.
So I guess then we will go into the
Episode
Phantom
1.
Menace. Tell me your thoughts on the Phantom Menace.
I actually did rewatch this one partially, just kind of in the background at one point, so I didn't really fully pay attention to it. But it's not a bad movie. I don't hate it. I don't think there's a lot of like more iconic moments. You got Jar Jar saying "Squeeze me," which has got to be like a crime.
A crime?
It's got to be somebody's got to pay for that, bro. It's not good.
I don't know.
Saying, are you the guy who says "Squeeze me" in the grocery store?
Sir,
Is that you?
Egg squeeze me. Can I get through?
Squeeze me, bro. I'd just be like, no, I'm blocking this whole aisle for you, brother. I ain't letting you get this cheese. But I mean, there's Jar Jar, Anakin. You get to see young Greedo. You get to see the origins of stuff, and maybe the sentiment's different from when it first came out. Because people hated the original trilogy. You got midichlorians, so you got to dock at some points. So it's like you lose some of the mystery, which is part of the fun of Star Wars. That's why George Lucas will never release Yoda's species. It's an endless mystery that will always be a thing. So there's some points you gotta dock for like useless garbage.
So you know,
cool, though.
That's not Greedo.
Not Greedo. Who is it?
That's the kid's name I think is Kickster. Greedo's in the deleted scene.
Right. I forgot. I knew he was in there somewhere. I knew he was in the movie. I just didn't remember.
So
I didn't realize he was the special. He was in there. That was the scene. And we all know about that.
The movie at the time, a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of people say they heavily rely on green screen, things like that. Because
they did.
However, a lot of people do not realize the Boonta Eve Classic. Borderline probably the best sequence in the movie. The pod racing scene. Um,
Good.
it's super cool. It sounds awesome. Looks cool. When they are driving by the crowd, and you see all the people moving that are really, really small, that's real.
People.
They really built that, and those are Q-tips painted different colors, and they have a fan blowing under them to make them all move and wave, so it looks like the crowd is moving. That's real. And then they scaled it down to put people in it. So yes, it was green screen, but it was a real set that they made. Super
They
cool.
do a lot of cool effects with Star Wars, like the
Camino
original.
and things like that later on, yeah, that's full CG. But they really built that racetrack, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that's like a big negative or positive
No.
for me. That's just like a cool fact.
But like,
But to say like they go to what? They go to Naboo, Tatooine.
Yep.
What's it called? Coruscant. Like they're just planet hopping, and like the action scenes, like Maul, some of the best stuff you want to see. Like
it is like the mall,
you know,
pod racing,
Maul, pod
and
racing. We got to dock some points for the traveling. For
well, that's what episode 1 is,
useless-
though. Episode 1 is just going from Tatooine
yeah,
to travel to the Death Star.
they go to Tatooine like multiple times, and they just keep going back and forth to this stuff. It's like there's some points you lose with messing around with stuff.
Yeah.
There's definitely it feels a lot less like it's not like terribly bad at like pacing and messing around with politics. People like go, hey, I hate the politics in it, but
It's got New
I don't
Gunray.
think it's too bad. There's Nuke Gunray is cool. He's chilling. He's just got some trading to do, bro. He's minding his business.
So, where would you put it?
I'd probably put it like B.
That's what I
don't
would
know,
do.
Maybe that's
Do you?
it's middle of the pack. It's not like a crazy like iconic movie, but there's some good scenes like there's some iconic stuff in there. So
Is
it's
it
key.
better than
It's
Star
key.
Wars?
No, I wouldn't say so. It doesn't
You
have
don't?
the merit to be better than Star Wars.
I think it is.
You
I
it's
think it is
well,
more fun to rewatch than the original Star Wars. I think it's a more fun watch.
We'll put it on C tier, but you can put it behind or ahead of it if you want to. I'd say it's.
Well,
I wouldn't say it
B
has
tier.
merit.
We have Star Wars in B tier.
Mhm.
So like I think it's like a high B tier for me.
I would personally say that Star Wars, just knowing that it started the whole thing, kicked it off for me, has some merit to it, but rewatching value might be important. So you can put it up ahead. I
Okay.
wouldn't say it's a terrible thing. It's maybe some people think that's a crime. I wouldn't disagree. It's a little bit of a crime. But
I think from where we're at right now, I think the Phantom Menace it's not an insane
Those-
amount better. I think they're on
those
par with
prequel
each other,
babies,
but I think it's a little more. It's true. The
they
the
work on
next movie, Attack of the Clones.
it. Ooh.
Okay,
I mean, what does he do?
so
So what happens in that one?
they go to Tatooine
They hire a guy to hire a
a
guy to hire a guy
robot, to hire a
to hire a
robot,
robot
to hire
a
worms.
parasite to take care of Padme. Now they fail, and then the chain just goes backwards and collapses.
It's true.
Like,
It's true.
So,
So
please, Agano, iconic. Introduce what's it called?
yeah, Death Sticks.
That's, gotta love that.
So let's talk about this movie. So, Attack of the Clones is slow.
it spends more time messing around. There's no Maul. There's no like cool fight. It's just like
we have the cool fight is Anakin and
Yeah.
Obi-Wan versus Dooku, and then
They
Yoda
do.
versus Dooku.
but it's not like the
It's
most
not on
iconic
par.
fights you have out
No,
there.
it's not Duel of the
And
Fates.
a lot of it's messing around on like, oh, let's find out where this planet is, and going to the bar to find out what it is, visiting it, talking to the Kaminoans, talking to
Okay,
Jango Fett. It's like
so-
you're not messing around with that.
It goes from the princess getting attacked, and then they have to protect her. Anakin
Yeah.
goes to Naboo to protect her. So they go to Naboo, and then
I love
Obi-Wan goes to Kamino.
Russian.
I love the Kamino sequence. I think the Kamino sequence is super fun. It's cool. It's a new
Kamino's
place.
cool planet.
They introduce Boba and Jango. The clone troopers, super cool stuff there.
They didn't do anything with the clone troopers on Kamino or Kamino and
Camino.
Kamino.
Yeah. Well,
they just kind of like they were.
They're
we
just
have troops
there. They
ready
show
for you.
them.
The lore behind it's cooler. Like
It
they added
is.
later in the movie, but like we're just looking at the movie itself.
But then he follows Jango Fett to Geonosis. I think
As he should.
Geonosis is the pinnacle of the movie. That's the
Yeah.
big thing of the movie
You love when
is
C-3PO had his head on a battle droid. That was your
Right.
favorite scene.
no. The cool thing is the arena. The arena is the coolest part of the movie. It really is.
It is
Seeing
cool.
like 200 Jedi in an arena, that's cool. You never
Playing
thought you'd see it.
Coleman, what's his name?
Trevor Coleman.
Trevor Coleman and Coleman Trevor. They were
Yeah. They cut Jango Head's head off. Mace Windu shown finally fighting. He was just in the previous movie. Now he's actually fighting. And then they're about to lose. And the clones swoop in and save the day. You see the LAC gunships. You see all that stuff. The Camino area there, the Geonosis is the pinnacle of the movie. I really like that stuff, and I like Camino. Everything else is
cool.
pretty.
I'd say
this
the
is a
time-
C tier for me.
the time on Geonosis was half of it was messing around with like C-3PO
Half
getting
of
his
it-
head knocked off. So like
Like I
some of
said,
that's pretty bad.
Like
but,
I said,
the
in the
scene
arena.
itself, seeing all those Jedi was cool.
in the arena, that's good.
It is.
The droid
is.
factory is no, but
We'll put C tier. I
C.
mean, what? Yeah, I say there's probably bigger stinkers down the list. So I think C tier's fair for now.
yeah. Okay.
I mean, you got to think about what's coming up.
For me, this next one is an S tier, hands down. Revenge of the Sith. It's enough said. Enough said. Now, it's better than Empire?
Babies.
Because for me, it is better than Empire. It's my favorite Star Wars movie.
That's fair. I would say too. I would say that too, actually, because we're prequel babies. So like, but like Anakin versus Obi-Wan, the Brotherhood,
Battle of the Heroes, General
the music,
Grievous,
really good.
more clone
Grievous.
stuff.
There's
There's
a
so
lot
much
of
going
fighting
on.
that one.
There's so much going on. It's great.
Really good fights. Like the Grievous fight was good. You know, the obviously the Obi-Wan and Anakin fight are good. They did a lot in one movie compared to like, yes, we'll make these trade negotiations. No, we're gonna fight each other like long time. You watch about the movie, you get to put context into the first movie. So and since it came out after the first movie, you put like, some really important context in that movie. So the fights are good. There are some mess ups like that are, you know, like people make fun of the dancing kind of thing where they just didn't hit each other for like 5 minutes. Obi-Wan and Anakin.
The Obi-Wan twirl and then force push. Yeah.
Yeah, but like the fight scene, dude, that lava planet,
Mustafar.
jumping from border to border. Yeah, Mustafar, dude, jumping from border to like little droid to like a little debris, like just jumping around.
It's a little over the top, but I like it.
That's kind of like Star Wars is sometimes. It's a little bit over the top, a little bit campy. It's a little cheesy, but that is some of the best fights that you're gonna see in Star Wars. And like the planet, the mood, the setting, the stakes. There's actual stakes that they set up through 2 other movies. So it's a good like finish. You know, the even the dialogue's pretty good. Like, you're my brother Anakin. I saw like a mug where it was like every word abbreviated, so it was like Y.B.
You are supposed to be the chosen one. Yeah.
It's really long and makes no sense, but like it's iconic. People love that scene and that dialogue. So there's very little to pick bad about that movie.
Yeah, I think it's good. So that's why I think it's my favorite Star Wars movie. So
Yeah,
I think we'll move
people
on.
Hated it at first, but I think looking back at it,
I still think everyone thought it was the best prequel for sure.
Oh
but,
yeah, definitely. But like overall, they've built it out better now. And look at the movie; it's a good solo stand. But yeah, we'll put it S tier.
So the next movie, 2008, The Clone Wars. The Clone Wars movie, in my opinion, this is the stinker on the list. It's
barely
Clone Wars is my favorite, it's like my favorite thing Star Wars has done.
Even they know it was a stinker, even George and Filoni.
And it's just 4 episodes combined into a movie.
Not cohesive episodes too. They're like almost unrelated episodes. They're not even like arcs that are episodic. It's just 4 random episodes put together.
No, it's 2. It's 2 episodes and then 2 episodes.
But they make like no sense. They're not paced for a movie. They're not built to be a movie. It is just like
they're not made to be cut back and forth between.
Can we make a movie? It's like, no, George, we didn't make it a movie. okay, George, we'll do a movie.
Yeah.
And they just like make it. He made it a thing. It's not supposed to be a movie.
It's
So, how low do you want to put this stinker?
it's D. It's D.
I put it in D
Rhoda.
already.
Rhoda the Hutt, bro. Jabba having a
Dude.
son. And Zero the
Stinky.
Hutt. You know what? Zero the Hutt's in it? Might be A tier.
I give it credit for
That's
introducing
D tier.
Ahsoka. That's it.
Right.
That's like that.
But that's not
Introducing
enough.
Ahsoka
Ahsoka
the
and
dynamic
Rex.
between Rex, Ahsoka, and like the dynamic between Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. That's like all it did. Other than that, Christophsis, like what is it?
That's the Christophsis fight in the
only other
beginning of the
good thing
movie.
is like maybe like when Obi-Wan's like, let's have a drink. It's like, okay, now we know he's a drinker. He has
That
some
was
good
from
lines
episode
in
2.
that first episode, but like
Episode
it's
2
not
is when he
memorable.
started drinking. Where are you
It's
going,
not
Master?
memorable.
For a drink.
It's not memorable. It's not a movie. It's not supposed to be a movie, but
Yeah.
they just combined it and made it one. So it's hard
It's true.
to call
honestly-
it a movie.
Would have rather it just been another 4 episodes of the Clone Wars and watched it how it should have been.
We'll put it in D as in it's a dump.
Rhoda, bro. Rhoda kills me every time. Jabba the Hutt's son. It
D for
kills
dump
me.
tier. His name is
Um,
Stinky. Get it right.
Yeah. Okay. Next, I think we're going to do these 2 and then we'll do the sequel trilogy. So next up is Rogue One.
That's such a good movie.
So here's how I feel
You may
about the
not like
movie.
it much.
I think that the first 45 minutes of this movie are crap. I think I shouldn't say it like that, but I think
You
it is
you gotta
so.
build up. You don't know who these people are, bro. They've got to build it up.
Because I know, but it is so boring.
If
I
they
don't
die
care.
at the end, and you're like, I don't care. Who are these people? Who?
The moment that they come out of orbit, or out of the moment they come out of hyperspace around Scarif, it's the most insane thing ever. I love it. Everything, the Scarif fight, spectacle when they land, and everything that happens there, it's amazing. And that last half an hour of that movie that takes place on Scarif saves it. I think it's an A-tier movie.
I would say A tier, but above. I don't know. I kind of want to put it in S tier, but I feel like S tier, excuse me, a really high standard.
I think
I'm
I think it's
put it
better than
top
Return of
of
the
A.
Jedi. You want to put it top A?
Appa it does so much for
Yeah.
the Star Wars universe. It tells you how they got the Death Star plans. It shows you how the Death Star was being built, what the lore behind it is. I mean, you get to watch this little girl grow up and like her dad be taken away. You gotta build
Yeah.
the character. So maybe it's a little slow, but you got to build the character. So when they do this bold move to kill them all off at the end, which is really bold to just kill every character, like we're not doing anything with them anymore. They're gone. They did do Andor, but like they can't do anything like past that
Yeah.
date. It's done. They're dead.
I just thought it was really slow.
Krennic was cool. Vader was really cool. You got to see the scene to go into the first episode. Dude, there are some like it's crazy iconic. For being one of the newer movies, it is still really iconic.
It's
So
just
I'd
funny to
say-
watch that going into A New Hope. You're like, dude, Vader just bodied all them rebel troopers, and then him and Obi-Wan are, oh,
Dude,
oh.
I don't want to put S tier and inflate it, but I would consider S tier, if not top of A tier.
I give it A. I give it A for sure. Because that last sequence, like I said, the last half an hour, if the whole movie was even just slightly less than that,
those
it'd
rebel
be
guys
amazing.
on that ship, bro. Pants soiled instantly. You see that? You're like, door closes, dude. The banging on the door to like open it and passing the plans, dude.
Dude,
like,
those rebels knew they were dead.
It's
And
a
he's banging on the door, holds it, and then the saber comes through his chest. It's great.
dude, the way they could have messed that scene up so bad, they did it so right. They
true.
did such a good job on that movie, and to be like one of Disney's like earlier movies they made,
Second movie they made.
it's its own thing. Like new characters, they did new characters, new stuff. You know, building up the lore. They did a lot of good with that
did.
movie. So I got to give it so much credit. But we'll move on to the next one. Just leave it at A tier. and how much
So-
that movie's good.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story, A tier. Let's talk about another Star Wars story.
Han
Solo. Solo for
Solo.
me,
He was really good in Dance Revolution.
the Solo movie, I don't think is a bad movie. I think it got a bad rep because one, Disney didn't market it because it was coming out, I think, the same weekend as Deadpool 2 and another Marvel movie, another Disney movie.
I think there is some hate that it's earned though, because what what do we really care? Do I really want to know why he has dice?
Do I
You
want to
can-
know why he's got the
Not the
dice?
biggest
I
deal.
didn't need to see the Kessel Run. It was cool to see the Kessel Run, but I didn't
Yeah,
need a
the Kessel
whole
Run-
movie dedicated to it.
It felt like more backstory of the little things that I just don't care about. Chewbacca was maybe kind of cool. I think him being the Empire. Maybe if they did more of that, might be kind of cool.
He was
to
a
see
slave,
him
they
on the
owned
inside of
him.
The Empire. That
Yeah,
would be kind of cool. Chewbacca and Han Solo in the Empire. Like seeing Han Solo, I think there's a book or something where it's him in the Empire, like
he snuck
serving.
in
Maybe if they did more of the movie, that would actually be really cool to see more of the inside of the Empire.
because they literally
Especially back
just
then.
show him on Mimban for like 15 seconds being Imperial, and
He
then
was
he
Imperial for like
quits.
10 seconds, like, all right, it's time to leave. Bro was in like a two or something for like 15 minutes. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
I liked
like,
Woody Harrelson's
that's kinda
character. I liked him,
Yeah.
his mentor, and I did like Dryden Voss, who was the bad guy with the scars and the knives, the twin knives that he
I did-
fought. Because
I did like a lot.
he shows up a lot. He's part of Crimson Dawn. Darth Maul shows up at the end. It's like, yeah, that's okay.
Darth Maul appearance was cool. It's more like a tease that we didn't really get anything for.
Yeah,
It was more like a tease for another movie or another piece of media. So it doesn't really feel
Yeah.
like a part of the movie that's really important.
it ties
is
in the
important
Clone
some of the
Wars.
comics, but it's just not important to that movie.
It ties in the Clone Wars in season 7 because they show him Dryden Voss.
They do. Yeah,
But-
it just wasn't a big part of the movie itself. But
No.
like, we got to see some cool things.
You get to see some of
Maybe
the
we got to
underground.
see the underground. I was gonna say like criminal organizations on that planet, which become kind of cooler if you read more of the comics. Itself,
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like I don't care about this organization.
I
They
definitely
kinda
think
showed it and
Andor
they
does it
left.
better. I think Andor
They-
does it better.
Yeah, they showed this organization and they're just like, all right, bye.
Yeah.
Like they don't focus on the organization. They don't focus on the Empire. He's like just jumping job to job over here, which kind of lost me a lot. But it was kind of cool to see Chewbacca meeting. It was cool to see like Lando was really good by Charles Gambino. His appearance, I liked him.
I liked him as
actually made
Lando. He did a really good job.
Lando and Han Solo were actually good casts. I didn't complain about those casts at all.
So,
The droid was cool that he was kind of like being with. So there were some cool pieces. The Wookiee uprising, droid uprising kind of thing. It was some neat parts, but I wouldn't say it's like amazing.
where do we put this?
Well, is it better than episode 2? Is it
Yes.
better than that? I would say that's a pretty easy obstacle. The
Yeah,
question is, do you
but
think
I
it's
don't.
Better than
I don't
episode
think. I think
1?
it's C tier, but I think it's at the front of C tier.
You think it's better than Star Wars and episode 1?
No,
I think it's better than episode 4 and 1. Really?
I said no. It's not.
Oh, you said no. You said
No.
top of B. You said
No, top
C
of C tier. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said B. Okay,
Yeah. So
C,
in front of episode 2.
yeah, I can't complain about that. It's not like it has some good moments.
Okay.
2 doesn't really have anything other than like the arena pit, so I think better than 2. You can't say too much. More.
Sure.
That's fine.
All right. Here come the fun ones that everyone loves. All right, we're gonna start off The Force Awakens. For me, fine movie. I think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's neutral. I think it's a good movie.
fun.
I think it's better. I think it's on par with Star Wars and The Phantom Menace.
I was actually gonna say probably like maybe above episode 1. Do you think, or after?
I think it's on par. I think it's, so we can put it in the middle of C tier or B tier.
I would put it in the middle. I was gonna say probably in the middle because they did really good with brand new characters. You brought in a pretty good cast. The First Order troopers looked good.
Oh
They had a
yeah.
really they had a cool scene with like Finn, the blood. Realized that's like a new concept having like troopers who are
Serious
brainwashed.
concepts.
Like the brainwashed troopers are not really a thing in the movies. Some of this other stuff it is, but you're showing in the movies, showing what it's like leaving the First Order. The First Order
Yeah.
looks cool. They got flame troopers. They have some pretty new looking armor, tools, weapons, droids. They got plans for something. They got like a really good setup. You got to see the Millennium Falcon, which maybe it's a little gimmicky, but I still kind of like to
Well,
see it.
everyone says it's just a rehash of A New Hope, and I agree with that. It basically is, but I do think it's better. I think it is a better telling of that story. So that's why I think it is better than A New Hope.
Well, I think it's, you want to put it on top of B tier then, above New Hope.
I have it Phantom Menace, Force Awakens, A New Hope.
Okay, I'll move my list and I'll kind of reflect. I think you might be right about that because I think it probably is, but it was a newer movie, so they had more technology.
You know what, dude? You know what?
To get that vision. What?
No, I'm gonna leave it, and then we'll rewatch, and then we'll change everything. So, but yeah, I think
We're
that's a
gonna
good
rewatch,
place.
so don't mess with it too
Yeah.
much.
I think that's a
We'll be
good place
messing
to
with it
put
more
that.
later, but we'll take a squeeze out and save this.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good movie for
Yeah.
an introductory movie. They paced well. They've built up really good stuff to work with. Boy, we'll go to the next movie because we're about to hit
Yeah.
the fan.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're gonna try to get past these couple two here because I know the video's it's a little long here, so we'll try to cut through these pretty quick. But the next one, yeah, the
What are they
Last
doing this
Jedi,
one?
yeah, S tier. Just we'll go ahead and no, okay. So here's the deal with this: everything with Canto Bite, I don't like. I don't like the
I like
Canto
that
Bite.
planet, but I don't like what they did. They didn't show it off.
The planet's fine. It's the story that happens there is not.
The hacker guy, was this the one where
DJ.
they just flew in space the whole time and they visited the planet and came back? That's all that happened? So that they were just like slowly a ship attacking another ship and then just
So
like,
they
"We gotta
had
go
to
help."
leave. They had to leave their
That's it.
planet, and they were running out of fuel, but they were slightly faster than the First Order cruiser. So they had to make them run out of gas to catch up with
It's
them.
like
And then they ran out of gas, and then they fire the escape pods down to Crate, and then they go to ground and have the ground battle at Crate. I love that. Crate, I love
Yeah.
that fight. It's Hoth, obviously. You got the walkers, but them sand, the skiff
cool planet.
skimmers with the sand, the red smoke. I love playing that Battlefront 2.
that is such a
um,
good planet.
Here's the deal. A lot of people don't like this movie for one particular reason. And I think everyone knows what I'm thinking. Luke Skywalker. I don't mind what they did with Luke. That's everyone's biggest complaint about the movie is that's not my Luke. That's not how Luke would have acted. I genuinely think he would have. I always think like it's about family. Star Wars is about family, like father, like son. He's acting just like Anakin would have.
Yeah.
Some people are like, well, he wouldn't have acted like that. It's like, dude, in Return of the Jedi, when Darth Vader mentioned his sister, he went berserk, activated lightsaber, and started killing his dad. He chopped off his hand. He was going to kill his dad. Like,
he's not the conventional Jedi, which obviously didn't have much conventional training. He left. He's like, bye, Yoda. And then he goes like, when he came back, like, bro, I'm not
And Yoda
training you. Dies.
like,
And he's like, yeah, I'm not training you anymore.
Exactly.
You failed, man. But he is like a very hopeful guy. That's the problem. He's very hopeful. That's obviously the whole point of A New Hope. It's a very iconic like hope rebellion. He's just like, I got no hope. I don't care anymore. I'm away on the planet. He has no context. So maybe we could, if we eased into this concept in some way. But I feel like it is a big drastic thing between him and the movie. He can go berserk. He can be a little crazy. He's got Anakin in him, obviously. He's
exactly.
Crazy. But like he is just like a hermit. I don't know 100% if I believe that 100%. But I can see some complaints. But I can see like, hey, like it's a much further in the future. He's much older.
Yeah.
You're gonna expect some changes, right?
I love Crate. You know, I would put this in B. A lot of people were like, put it in B, put it in D, put it in D. I don't. I would put it in B if it wasn't for one fact. I'm gonna put it in between Solo and Episode 2, and the only reason I'm not gonna put it higher in B tier is because they kill Admiral Akbar off screen. It would be B if they didn't do that, but they just kill a ship.
When Leia like floated out in space, and she just like slowly came back. Like, what was up with that? Like, it just felt like out of nowhere.
Kanan does it.
I get why
Kanan does it, so it's not that weird.
We know he's a Jedi.
We know she was a Jedi. They established that in the beginning of the movie.
Very little gave any effort into some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe when we watch it, maybe I'll see like, oh, that's not so unreasonable. But I feel like some of the stuff is like they don't really build. So like
they don't build Leia up as much, but
came back. I don't know. We'll put it in. You said C tier.
I put it in the middle of C, between Solo and Episode 2.
I have no idea which poster goes in which. I'll probably fix this later.
In the finale. The finale of the Skywalker saga. The Rise of Skywalker.
It's the least popular one, I think.
Oh no, Last Jedi is.
Really?
Yeah, because of Luke. Although so many more people don't like that movie.
I can barely remember what happens in some of these, to be honest. I know that there was Episode 1, the introductory. There was the Canto Bite episode. What's this one? What did happen?
Somehow, the Emperor returned.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I think...
you know what? Credit where credit's due, and they kind of messed it up. But the Force Ghost voices, That was cool.
I
That
wish
was
we could have
really
seen
cool.
them, but I'll take the voices. Ahsoka,
We haven't,
Luminara, Kanan, all these cool voices were there.
dude. They bought the whole original cast members. I so badly wish that they did the Force Ghosts. I think China or something like that hates ghosts, so they were like, I gotta be careful on that kind of stuff because they had to be restrictive. They want to sell their movies over there, make
Yeah.
money, makes sense. But like, they didn't do the Force Ghosts. I think somebody wrote because of that, and it's like, dude, that would be so cool to see.
It
Number
would've.
one, first look at Ahsoka live action at that point. Kanan live action, like, bro, how much you could do. It's fan servicing like crazy.
true.
But I love it because that's what happens in other places. Hear the voices. Also, Kylo Ren we haven't mentioned. The kiss, it happened.
Force heal out of nowhere, but Grogu can do it, so we're good.
They never bother force healing when they need it, but like, oh, it's convenient. We'll do it now. It's just
Yeah.
kind of weird the force heal thing, but the kiss was kind of bad. They didn't.
It was
build
weird
up
out of
any the
nowhere.
romantic stuff.
Like,
Like he asked her once, like, join me. I wouldn't even mention Snoke, bro.
Like,
Dude died
Finn
in, like,
is-
10 seconds.
when Finn's falling in the quicksand, say or Ray, I have something to tell you, and he's gonna tell her he's force sensitive, and then they die, or they fall through the sand, and then they come out, and then he just completely forgets he said that, and they never
Yeah.
talk about it. But he's
Yeah,
force
we're
sensitive,
We're barely touching a lot of topics in these movies, like Kylo
Yeah.
Ren.
and I
Finn
think
being
once we
force
do
sensitive
this,
and then not doing anything with it,
yeah,
do
I
nothing
think
with it.
eventually we can do in-depth reviews of each movie. That would be fun.
You can, but what do you think? Like they did some cool stuff in this movie. Palpatine probably needed to come back. Force Ghost was cool. The whole like Empire coming out of nowhere. The fight space battle was all right. But like, what do you think? Like it's
I haven't watched. I actually think I've only seen the movie once in theaters. I don't think I
probably saw it
rewatched
in
this
theaters.
movie. I think this
I
is
haven't.
the only. I think this and Solo are the only movies I haven't rewatched at least once.
That's fair though.
But I think. Do you think this is better than The Last Jedi?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
I do too.
I think it was a finale. And they did some alright stuff in the finale.
Do you think
to
it's
make
better
it
than Solo?
enough. No, I don't think
You
so.
don't?
I think if they did the Force Ghosts, yes.
Yeah.
If they did, like, there's what is there to remember about this movie? I don't remember it. I watched Solo like once.
The Emperor.
I remember Solo so much about Solo. I remember Emperor and the kiss. That's it.
Yeah.
He like wanted to give her all the power. I don't even know why he's doing half the things he's doing. I don't know what the goal is in this movie. It does cool stuff. We'll
Yeah.
watch it. Maybe we'll have a more cohesive experience. But like
Yeah.
Solo's more iconic. I remember more stuff.
So it looks like this is our current tier list here.
We'll add
and
the Ewok movies.
yeah, we'll
just
add
maybe
the
for
rest
one
later that we haven't seen.
Star Wars.
But this is where we're at now, and we're gonna be doing this slow watch along, and it'll be,
It'll be a minute,
super
but
fun.
We'll release that. Yeah.
But we'll release our comparison. Maybe some
I don't
stuff will
know.
change. Maybe it'll stay the
us-
same. It'll be cool to see. So
Tell us your hot take, and if you like the sequels and whatever movie you like
Yeah.
what you like, right? But like, just our
Yeah.
thoughts. But just like, drop what you
tell us we're
drop
wrong.
what you think is
Tell
up.
us what
Yeah.
you think is right. I'm
Well,
always curious what movie is everyone's favorites, because the top three are normally Empire, Return of the Jedi, and Revenge of the Sith. If it's not, I'd love to know why it's
Drop
your
your hot
favorite
take.
and what it is. Let us know.
Tell us if we had a hot take. Tell
Yeah.
us how much you love Meeber Gascon.
That's Clone Wars. We're not
Um,
talking about Clone Wars. So,
we were talking about Meeber Gascon.
but
love him.
yeah. So that's our list. So we appreciate everyone stopping by, and
Cool,
we'll
cool.
see you in the next one.
See you then. In like a month, we do all of them.
We're gonna watch all this in a month.
2 maybe.
May the Force be with us.